The surprising details of a $2,000 fourth stimulus check as it pertains to the low-income and, of course, fixed-income beneficiaries of Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, low-income, no-income, seniors, older adults, and, of course, people with disabilities, as well as how much. Like I said just a second ago, it's surprising, and I want to break down all the details and the numbers for you here in this video, because who doesn't need an extra $2,000 right now? Yeah, virtually no one out there. Everybody needs an extra $2,000 right now, considering what's been going on the last couple years. Yeah, we all need that extra money. So let's get into it and talk about all that's going on here and what I want to share with you. Really fast before we do, can I ask a huge favor of you? If you have not done so yet, please make sure to like the video with the big thumbs up button right down below. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Also, if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe to the channel as well with the big subscribe button down below. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching, and let's talk through the details. All right, so like I said, who isn't looking for a stimulus check these days? Yeah, there's nobody out there. I mean, here's the thing. I see this question down below in the comment section literally every single day, whether it's on a video like this or any other video here on the channel. Thousands of videos here on the channel, whether I'm hosting a live stream, whatever it happens to be. Inevitably, I always see the comments coming in the chat box on live streams, down below in the comments section. Even every so often, I get emails from people saying, hey, I see this headline right here. Can you make a video about this? Some random number out there like, oh, $4,000 stimulus checks or something like that. I get these questions all the time, literally daily, asking about stimulus checks, right? Why would people be asking about this right now? Because everybody needs money, right? I mean, here's the thing. I don't need to sit here and tell you this. We all recognize what's going on. It's a really tough financial situation that we're in right now for the vast majority of people. No wonder why we're well over $1.14 trillion in credit card debt right now. Bad situation, right? Record credit card debt that we are dealing with right now. However, let me share with you the situation of this, and let me share with you some numbers behind this. Now, when it comes down to lawmakers and Congress and the federal government, things like this, how much money do you think is a lot of money to them? Do you think like $1 billion is a lot of money to them? Do you think 5 billion, 100 billion, 500 billion, $1 trillion? What do you think is a lot of money to them? I'll tell you this much. $1 billion is nothing. That's literally nothing. That is pennies to them. 100 billion? Not really. I mean, it's a little bit of money, not much, right? It's not that much. We're racking up $100 billion of debt, like national, federal, national debt here in this country, like every couple weeks. It's like happening super fast, right? So it's like nothing to them, right? 500 billion, yeah, now we're talking. I mean, that's like a lot more money. And $1 trillion, for sure. $1 trillion is a lot of money, okay? Whether you look at it from the federal level or not, $1 trillion is a lot, right? But 100 billion is virtually nothing when it comes down to, the big picture of things here, okay? But let's look at it this way. So when it comes down to, say, low income, fixed income, let's just use fixed income for example. How many people receive fixed income benefits administered by Social Security right now? Well, you know the answer. It's a little over 70 million people, right? Across all the benefits, right? That's everybody. How many people are currently living in poverty in the United States? About 40 million, okay? It's a little bit less than 40 million, but let's just call it 40 million for easy rounding purposes. So 40 million people are living in poverty. Of those 40 million people living in poverty, about 11 million are seniors, okay? There's people with disabilities in there as well, a few million there. There's all kinds of people that are living in poverty right now. So let's just look at it this way. Let's just say that they came forward with a $2,000 highly focused stimulus check just for either people living in poverty or below, 40 million people, or if they had a highly focused fourth stimulus check just on fixed income beneficiaries. Now, my rebuttal to that would really quickly be, does everybody living on fixed income need a stimulus check? The answer would be no. Why? There are some people out there taking down $4,000, $4,500, nearly $5,000 a month from Social Security. Do they need a one-off $2,000 check? The answer is, in my opinion, probably not, right? Let's focus those funds. Let's focus that money on people that are getting probably less than, $2,000, $2,500. The people that are really out there, right? That are really struggling. And again, I think a lot of us could probably even say, 2,000 is kind of a lot on a monthly basis too. Let's just focus it on, say, 1,500 or less or whatever it is, right? Which, by the way, the average benefit right now is a little over $1,900 a month for retirement benefits. The average benefit for a disability beneficiary, SSDI, it's a little bit less than $1,600. and the average benefit for an SSI beneficiary is about $800. It's actually a little bit less than $800 a month. So that's nuts, right? Could all of these individuals benefit from a one-off $2,000 check? The answer is yes, right? So let me just share with you really quickly how shocking this is. I mean, this is so surprising. When we look at the big picture here, and we look at the real numbers behind this, it's not that much. I mean, seriously, in the big picture of things, it is really not that much. So let's just say that they sent out a one-off $2,000 check to everybody who is living basically at the poverty line or below. Okay, so 40 million people. Remember that number, 40 million. A one-off $2,000 check, how much do you think that would cost? I'll tell you, $80 billion. $80 billion, that's it. So do you think that this would possibly lift people out of poverty? Everybody? Probably not everybody, but would it help a lot? Yeah, it would help like massively, right? This would lift a lot of people out of poverty. It would help them massively in a huge, huge way, and that's all it would cost. 80 billion little dollars. That's it. I mean, here's the thing. There are, I don't know how many people right now at the moment, but there's enough people out there, individuals, single people walking around the earth right now that could literally finance that themselves, right? Literally one guy, right? One multi-billionaire guy, or, there's ladies out there too. I'm just simply saying one individual person. There's plenty of these people out there. They could finance this themselves. I mean, Elon Musk, for example, he could finance like a lot of these. The dude's hundreds of billions of dollars of wealth, right? My point is, this is nothing. $80 billion is nothing if they were to do like a one-off for just people living, below poverty, okay, for 40 million people. However, let's just say that they wanted to do a one-off check for everybody who receives a fixed income benefit from Social Security or, fixed income benefits, right? From the Social Security Administration. Let's just call it 70 million people. For easy math purposes, let's just round it to 70 million people. What would that cost? 70 million by $2,000 a piece would be $140 billion. Would that be that much money? Not really. I mean, here's the thing. Not really. If you look at all the details behind that and, how much this would really cost and to go out like this, not really. 140 billion, I mean, yeah, it's 60 billion more than the example that I just gave you a second ago with people living below the federal poverty line, but 140 billion is still nothing. Let me put this into perspective really quickly. Remember a few years ago, 2020, we got two checks then. Early 2020, we got 1,200. The end of 2020, we got 600, and then again in 2021, we got 1,400, right? So in total, $3,200 is what we got during that basically 1 year period of time per person to about 85% of the population. How much do you think all those checks cost? I'll tell you, $850 billion. I'm rounding a little bit, but $850 billion is what that costs. So bumping nearly $1 trillion is what that cost just in stimulus checks. Did those checks need to go out to everybody? The answer is, in my opinion, no, not even close. It went out to 85% of the population. It should have gone out to about maybe 20% of the population. Maybe is a big one, right? Realistically, probably more around like 15 to 17% of the population is what those checks really should have gone out to. Just based on if we look at who really needs them, the low income, fixed income, seniors, people with disabilities, people living below the federal poverty line, things like that. Those are the individuals that actually needed it. Not Bob down the street so you can go buy himself some golf clubs, right? Yeah, Bob didn't need it. Sorry, right? A lot of people like that. But anyway, so this is all it would be. Now, let's just say that they brought in and they said, hey, we're going to focus a one-time, one-off check just for fixed income beneficiaries, which they haven't. I'm just using this as an example. Okay, I've made that very clear before in other videos. No, they have not approved a stimulus check right now. I think I've made that very, very clear in a lot of videos, but just want to make it very clear again right now. No, they have not made a stimulus check. They have not approved that right now. So if anybody's telling you that they have, they haven't. Okay, so not sure where they're looking or why they're making that up, but no, they have not. But anyway, just wanted to clarify that. So let's just say, for example, they took all fixed income beneficiaries that receive benefits from Social Security. Again, 70 million people, right? And let's just say that they said everybody receiving, say, below the average, $1,900, a little over $1,900 for a retiree, a little below $1,600 for a disability, and call it $800 for an SSI. Let's just say that they say anybody getting less than, say, $2,000 a month from any of these fixed income benefit programs gets a one-off check, right? Now, what would that shave that number down to? I'm going to be honest with you. Of the 70 million people, I'm not sure what the actual equation is as far as who receives, who receives less than that, who receives more. I'm not really sure. But let's just say it's half, okay? Half of 70 million people is 35 million people. So let's just assume, because the average is about 1,900, let's assume that half receive above and half receive below. For averages, simple averages, and for simple rounding here, let's just say about half, okay? So that means that 70 million people in total, 35 million receive above, 35 million receive below, okay? Now, let's just say, what would it really cost? 35 million people of fixed income beneficiaries, again, all of which are, Social Security, SSDI, retirees, Social Security, seniors, fixed income, disability beneficiaries, whatever it happens to be, all of these individuals. So if they send off a one-off $2,000 check to 35 million people, what does that cost? $70 billion. Again, nothing. That's nothing. Would this be life-changing for the individuals in the event that they were to get a one-off $2,000 check? Massively life-changing, right? If you're somebody living on SSI and you're getting $943 or $1,400 as a married couple, or if you're an SSDI beneficiary getting $1,000 or $950 or $1,200, would a one-off $2,000 just plopped into your bank account today? Would that be a little bit helpful? Massively, massively helpful, right? Here's the thing. It would help a lot of people probably dig out of a little bit of a hole that we've gotten ourselves into the last couple of years here, not keeping up, floating balances on credit cards, borrowing money from friends and family, getting loans. I've seen that before as well. Some people here in the community I've seen down below in the comment section saying, hey, I had to go get a loan. I had to go get a personal loan, right? Well, I'm guessing the interest rate on that thing these days is not very good, right? It's probably very, very high. So this would be incredibly helpful, and it would only cost, what, 70 billion, maybe 80 billion, maybe $100 billion, wherever they cut the line off at. That would not cost that much money if we look at the big picture, and it would help out a lot of people in a massive way. Now, the big question would be, it would cause all this inflation. No, it wouldn't. Are you kidding me? $100 billion, again, I'm just rounding it to 100 billion. Let's just say it's 100 billion. $100 billion spread across, 35, 40 million people across the entire country? No way. It's not going to cause inflation. Why? It's spread way too thin. That's why. We've got a huge country. We've got 35, 40 million people, and we've got $100 billion spread across it, right? It's way too thin. It's not going to do anything, right? It's like spreading butter or peanut butter or something like that on a piece of toast or whatever, really, really thin. It's just not going to do much, right? Because it's way too thin. It's just not going to have any impact whatsoever. And that's the problem. The reason we had so much inflation over the last couple of years here is because we spread way too much, way too thick. That's what happened. Way too much money went out to way too many people across the entire country, and it caused massive inflation, because it was just way too much money. It was way too thick, right? Taking a big old chunk of butter and sticking it all over the bread so you can't even see the bread anymore. We went on way too thick. Does that kind of make sense, right? So anyway, this is what I want to share with you. Now again, why I said surprising? Because I think a lot of times we look at all these numbers and think, oh no, they're not going to do that. They sent out $1 trillion last time. You're right. They sent out nearly $1 trillion last time. It was way too much for way too many people. They went overboard. They shouldn't have done too much, right? But if they were to do it less aggressively, significantly less aggressively, and just sent it out to the people that actually need it, it's surprising to see how little this would actually cost. Not that much. 100 billion would be like tops for a one-off check for tens of millions of people that actually need it, and this would be life-changing to them, right? Anyway, so I want to share this with you really quickly. When we look at the real numbers behind this, it's pretty surprising to see. At least that's my opinion on it, compared to where we came from a couple years ago when we saw hundreds of billions of dollars going out. Again, nearly $1 trillion, way too much in way too short amount of time to way too many people. That's my point. Anyway, hope this helps you. But again, please like the video down below with the big thumbs up button. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Otherwise, subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Totally free to do so. Big subscribe button down below. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Otherwise, check out the other videos here on the channel. The thousands in the video library. Nearly 5,000 videos there. Otherwise, I've hand-selected some very popular videos for you down below in the comment section and the top of the description as well. Check out those as well. Very popular, good videos there. Otherwise, check out the videos right now popping up on your screen as well. You'll see some videos. Thanks so much. Enjoy your day. Have a good one, and take care. I'll see you again later in the